Welcome back to Arise Prime Time. I'm Charles Enyekolu, and as always, I have a guest commentator in the studio with me for the rest of the program, who will give us his perspective on nearly everything we covered in the show today. And for this, I'm joined now in the studio by the policy strategist, Arise News analyst, and founder and executive director of Agora Policy, Waziri Adio. Great to see you, Waziri. Just very quickly, sadly, we haven't got that much time left, but you heard Osaze Uzi-Oluwole talking about the challenge of insecurity. This is something your think tank has done a lot of research into, but he was looking at it in the context of the legal framework and what the consequences might be if that insecurity continues to deepen. What are your thoughts there?
Well, so many things. Thank you so much. So many things to look at. The first thing is that is there insecurity in Nigeria? Is it growing? Is there a cause for concern? Yes, yes, and yes, right? But should it lead to the scenario that he painted? I don't think so. We have like 5 weeks to the election. I don't see things getting worse than they are now. So the issue about declaring a state of war and not holding the election and elongating the tenure of the president, I think it should be a no for all of us, right? President Buhari has said that he's looking forward to returning to Daura after May 29. I think we should take him for his word. The security forces have given reassurances over and over again. It's their remit, it's their responsibility to do that. And we should also hold them to account on that. INEC has also said that they are ready. So the issue of not holding the election shouldn't even be entertained at all. So much is at stake, so much is hanging on this, that we should not. Yes, there are some concerns, and we need to have conducive and safe environment for the election to hold and for the election to be credible and all of that. But we should, there are people that have responsibility for this, the president, the security forces, and all of us, if we want this so badly, and I want to think that all Nigerians want this so badly, we want a fresh start, and thinking we shouldn't be in a position to contemplate not holding the election at all.
Yeah, that's a very good point, but obviously the reality on the ground could affect all of that. But the hope is that, things are, as you said, the way things are moving at the moment, it looks like it's going to hold across the country. But what about the process? Because that's another thing that Mr. Oluwole talked about, whether the electoral process is on track and whether we can be confident in that process.
I think so. I want to think so. So many things. The first thing is that, this election will be the 7th consecutive election that we're holding in this republic, and the republic that came the closest to this will be, you hold the first election, the transition election, the second one, everything will fall apart. So we've had this, and INEC also has had enough experience on that is bad. Beyond that, INEC led the advocacy for requesting for enough time to make sure that you have at least almost a year to prepare. And INEC has had all of that, including having the resources and all of that. So that is that. One other thing that
and also having tests with governorship elections.
Governorship elections, right. And all of that, and with the introduction of technology and the excitement in the air and all of that. But there's a point I want to make. Many Nigerians do not remember this. We have 100 years experience in conducting elections in this country. The first election we had in this country was in 1923. When the electoral principle was introduced by the Clifford Constitution, right? So having a 7th cycle of election, having the longest republic so far, having held elections for a century, we should make all of that count. Not just to make sure that we hold the election, but that we organize the cleanest election possible in our history.
Yeah, but I think you're going to have to make that assessment from 1999 because, there have been different republics and every single time things have been truncated, which means the entire process has gone back to the drawing board.
The point I'm trying to make is that our excuse cannot be lack of experience, cannot be lack of time. For the first time, INEC has almost a year to put this election together. Yes, INEC is not in charge of security. Right, but it's not just about the security forces. It's also about the politicians themselves. It's also about the rest of us as citizens.
I agree.
I even want this badly enough, and I want to believe that everybody wants this badly enough. Yes, there are some People who, you suspect, they have a stake in not getting the election to hold, but we cannot succumb to them. We cannot, we have to go on, and make sure that we hold this election, and that the election is free and fair, clean and credible. And it's in all our hands. It's not just about INEC, it's not just about government, it's not just about the president, it's not just about security forces. The politicians and the citizens all have a role in this.
I agree 100%. And I have to say that I am inspired by your enthusiasm there.
We have, we have to be enthusiastic, we have to be optimistic. We don't have, the alternative is not tenable.
Yeah. I absolutely agree. Waziri, brilliant to see you. Thank you very much indeed. Waziri Adio is the policy strategist, a Rise News analyst and founder and executive director of Agora Policy. And have yourself a great weekend.
Thank you.